My name is Joseph Sawani. I was born in Staten Island, New York, December 16th, 1994.
Joseph's birth about, almost 18 years ago. Standard, normal, rambunctious little kid.
He was the first grandchild, he was the first great-grandchild, the first cousin, so it was a really wonderful time and really special. We had just all these great feelings and emotions.
He was our first son and the oldest son of the family.
He always wanted to know what certain things meant, and he would take it to like 5 levels up. You'd answer the question, he'd say why. You'd answer the next, he'd say
why? Curiosity.
I always knew that he was going to be like, you know, a challenge, but in a good way.
I'm doing my homework.
How old are you now?
Read.
Says,
how old are you?
Matthew, happy birthday. Enjoy your special
my birthday.
I love you, and Jen.
Look, art is your job is to...
I became legally blind on September 21st, 2011. On this day, I went to rub my right eye, and out of my left, I noticed a couple blur spots. And I immediately went to the bathroom and called my parents.
And Joseph did call me first and kind of talked to me about this. He started to see some spots in his eye.
As soon as my husband got out like half of the sentence to say Joe called him and he saw a white spot, I just knew in my heart that it was LHON. And I knew that we had to act quickly because just my mom has had it, and over the years just learning about it.
It's an optic nerve disease that affects central vision and impairs loss in the eyes. That weekend, we went to about 6 or 7 doctors.
Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Dr. Miller confirmed what it was. I mean, it was confirmation that we were expecting, but when you finally hear those words, it's tough to swallow.
They told me that I was going to have 3 to 6 months span before my central vision was fully affected, and I would become legally blind.
That was the toughest time for Joe, and as far as myself and my wife. At 16, I think those 2.5 months, he went from 16 to manhood very quickly.
Some friends didn't want to really be friends anymore. They just didn't know how to react to Joseph. I felt horribly guilty, you know, because as a mother, I was the one who passed this gene on to him, and you would never want to see any of your children suffer.
A lot of responsibilities have been passed on from me to my younger brother.
I was around 12 years old when it occurred. I didn't really know how to feel. I knew that we may have to deal with it.
Matthew had to grow up faster, and he really worried about taking that role. And it's funny because, like, as parents, you know, I never, or my husband, have put that upon them. And we really just reassured him that, you know, you never have to fulfill this role. Joe has his role. You have your role. Your sister has her role. And all you could do is just be there. If your brother needs help, you help what you can.
I mainly try not to think about, like, having the role of the older brother. Like, I always try to think for the better that he would always get his eyesight back.
The teachers and the faculty, unfortunately, were not very receptive to what was going on.
You know, even talking to the college board and some of the things that you normally would go through, like taking a test. And a lot of the foundation of taking a test for somebody who's disabled is also non-existent. It was very difficult for myself as a parent and for himself as the disabled to kind of just sit there, having to figure things out on his own.
I was told by advisors within my high school that college wasn't an option.
Now everything is going to come down crashing. You know, he's going to take an SAT. He has his future ahead of him. And I just felt really shocked by how the system was. And I think he was even shocked because instead of for them to turn around and think, well, look at this kid, he's 16 years old, he's going blind. They were more, well, this is hard for me as a teacher. And what about me? I don't want to change my lesson. I don't want to do this. So I really was taken back by it, but it also, not only did it give me like fire, because that was unacceptable to me. I was like, that's not even an option here. So I think also for Joseph, being the type of kid he was just like, this is not gonna stop me.
The situation that I have really caused me to view life in a different way. And the urgency that I had from being young to help kicked in.
Joe and I have been working on the Dreamscape Foundation for probably about 6 months or so.
I started with rare disabilities and rare diseases because being affected with a rare disability myself, I've fully realized that there are gaps in society. It's black or white. It's you're fully blind or you're not. And I'm in the gray.
Being legally blind is something that he and I coined is at best gray. There are a lot of things that you as an individual can't do that normal people can. So we were tired, I guess, we were tired and getting frustrated at the system. And I think he and I started talking about the foundation to kind of help develop education, talk through and help other people who are going through not just the type of his disease that he's going through, but anybody who also has a rare disease where a large pharmaceutical company is not going to care about developing a cure for somebody who only has 400 cases a year. So that's what the Dreamscape Foundation is going to be all about.
My fondest memory with full sight is definitely just the little things that are around us every day.
I remember one day, I didn't even think about it, I cleaned the floors in my husband's office and I moved all the chairs, you know, and I didn't put them back in place because stuff was wet. And he came in the room and went to sit down and he fell because there was no chair there. So just things like that, you know, make you really realize like, wow, these little things that we all take for granted and we don't think about.
The appreciation of the little things is what I learned.
You miss somebody looking in a mirror and just, I know what a normal teenage kid would do, you know, stand in front of a mirror, you know, fix your hair, fix yourself up.
Shaving, a missing spot.
Go around and have that, you know, that confidence in yourself.
One Christmas we got ATVs, and for like the next couple months or two, we would usually go out on this dirt road, like 30 minutes from my house, and we would usually have fun and race each other and all that.
I would just miss seeing his eyes. Like such a little thing was very like emotional. But I look at him and he's touched so many people. I know he's gonna make a difference in the world, really.
The hardships he just stepped over, and he's attending Seton Hall. And I'm very proud of him.
He's taken something that would devastate anybody, and he was able to kind of stand up and say, I'm ready. It's enlightening.